Okay, so I've made this video because air conditioners seem to be a big topic on my channel. I thought I would explain the basics of how it works and how to make it more efficient, which will save you money in the long run. Okay, so from this picture we have here, we have our outside unit and our inside unit. So, and we have here our compressor. Basically, we have heat exchange happening outside, so we draw cool air in this way, and that's why you'll see on some of my other videos that I have some of the pictures where it's blue air. So sometimes I'm spraying the air with water to make it cooler, to make these coils cool as much as possible before they go into the house and hit these coils. Uh, Coming over here to the picture on the right, this picture here, we have what is seen as, okay, our compressor. If you've ever sprayed air out of a little canister to clean your keyboard or anything like that, you'll notice that the air that comes out of almost anything is cold. So when you take air from a high pressure or a high PSI container to a low pressure, it cools it. So basically the compressor is creating an atmosphere within the coils that are outside of the house, and it is compressing them as much as possible. It's actually, whenever you compress the air, it actually heats the air up because the molecules get closer together. It's creating energy. Doing that, you notice how the coils are going like this through here. The reason that you'll see a lot of times that there's coils going through a unit is to get more exposure. If it was just one coil going straight through, it would only have 2 feet of exposure to the outside air before it hits the system again. But instead, it's going through coils and it's hitting about 35 to 40 feet, allowing time for it to change temperature. So it's coming in here. Well, no, it's going out this way. As you see the arrow here, it's coming out of the compressor. The PSI is probably something like 220 PSI. Is going through 30 feet of coils. So it's going from 220 Fahrenheit, which it could be something different. It just really depends on every unit, and it's just an example. If we can drop this 220 down to, say, 180 within 30 feet of coils before it hits this point, it's going to go inside, it's going to release the pressure, and it's going to drop the temperature way down. So this is going to be like say normal ambient air is outside is 85 degrees. Once it goes through this conversion right here, it's now going to be 60 degrees on the inside. Then your inside fan is going to blow this air through here, and it's going to come out your vents into your house at 68 degrees or so, whatever you're calling for it. Essentially, there's a temperature exchange happening. All right, going over here, we kind of see the same thing. Multiple coils that you see on here. It's just zigzag and zigzag and zigzag. We want to change temperature as much as possible before we get here. Then we have more coils because we want to. This fan right here needs to push air through across as many coils as possible to get the maximum benefit to go into your house. Then it accumulates, goes into the compressor. Boom. This is the outside unit. This is the inside unit. All right. I've got some more going down through here. Basically the same thing, high pressure to low pressure. You'll see this consistency. All right, now here is what you can do to help with the exchange and make your system more efficient. This outside unit and this inside unit, clean these. When you get these clogged, or if someone walks by and actually pushes a section of these in, you're losing that much percentage of the actual ability for these coils to cool. Say they push them here, they push them here, you're going to lose 5%, 5%, 15%. The system's going to be very inefficient. That's typically what happens outside. Or if you get grass build up, someone's weed eating, or they blow grass, or the grass is really tall, it's going to reduce the airflow. Somebody builds a fence around it. It's going to stop the airflow crazy. It's going to be horrible. Then inside, years and years. So you've got a filter right here before the fan. So there's this big old filter. You have to replace it every month or 3 months, whatever you do. I'd recommend every 2 to 3 months. You've got this filter. Say you didn't replace your filters easily, or say your filter is just very dirty and you didn't know to replace it. The air is going to be reduced flowing through here, so not as much cooling air is coming through. Or this has broken at some point multiple times where it's gotten too full. Now you've got little pieces of particle constantly staying on your coils. The particle is essentially going to be insulating it. The coils are coming by to get as much airflow, but if you have little bitty particles on there, it's going to be stopping the airflow. So over a 10-year period, you could get 35 to 45% of the airflow actually blocked. Getting in there with a brush and some soap and just cleaning it. Anybody can do it. Just make sure you seal it up pretty well. Soap, water, a little brush, scrub it. Do not block or don't make these little pieces out here press in. You can increase your cooling efficiency by 20% easily. I hope this demonstration was easy to explain, but if you're looking online and you're looking at pictures of how the system works so you can get more knowledge about it, just know that you have your outside compressor. All this is usually N1. This directional arrow typically is the fan blowing through. You have coils because you want more surface covered. If you only had a coil going from here to here, you wouldn't get much cooling effect happening because it's so short, but because you have a lot more distance to travel, you get a lot more coolant in there. You get a lot more possibility to drop that temperature down because this unit over here is compressing that gas. It's compressing it, compressing those molecules. You see how close these molecules are compared to these molecules? And then when it releases down through here, when it's coming in through to your house coils, it's real cold. And then because it's cold, moisture is going to condense on the coils all over here. The moisture is going to condense. It's going to accumulate in a pool. Your system's designed. That's why you'll see fluid leaking out of the house at a pipe at some point because moisture is condensing. That's also a very important factor in this area in your house to have moisture condense. Outside humidity will be 80% while the inside will be 35%. If you go from the exact same temperature but the humidity is different, say it's 90 degrees outside, you have 80% humidity, 90 degrees outside, 35% humidity, it's going to be a huge difference in change of temperature that you feel because 35% humidity, you're going to actually, your sweat's going to evaporate, which is going to release heat off of your body. 85% humidity, however, sweat's not going to evaporate quite immediately, so you're going to retain that heat. You're going to feel hotter. So you've got your inside and your outside units. If you can cool these outside units, and you'll see that's what my other videos are about, spraying a mist of water on them, you'll notice that it'll cool significantly. You see how it's red? I'm gonna spray water on these coils, and I'm gonna cool them. Say, we did a 220 degrees. We were able to get them down to 180. If we can drop that down to even 160, the inside temperature over here is going to be another 20 degrees cooler. All right, make sure you subscribe, check out my other videos. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.